So, hi everyone. In this interview, you will find Om Gaikwad, Aryaman Dadwal, and Manohar Joshi, who gave CAT last year also in CAT 2024 and could not perform very well last year. But this year, they used CrackU resources, which includes CrackU course, CrackU Dash Cats, and Study Room, Quant Rush, and they will discuss about it. And please do watch the interview. You will get more insights about how CrackU helped them in achieving a high percentile. And all three are engineers with WorkX. So please do watch the interview till end. Hi Om, can you introduce yourself?
So my name is Om Gaikwad. I'm an engineer. I did my engineering in 2025, and then I joined an IT MNC. I have 4 to 5 months of WorkX, and side by side I was preparing for CAT 2025 with Krakow.
Okay. So Ariman, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Aryaman Adwal. I'm an electrical and electronics engineer from NIT Delhi. I gave CAT for the first time last year, and I knew that this was going to be my final attempt. So I left my job and I took the Krakow course to fully prepare myself for the coming exam.
Okay. So can you introduce yourself, Manohar?
Hi guys, my name is Manohar Joshi. I am an electrical engineer from IIT BHU. I have 2 years of experience working in the IT industry, and I also gave the CAT exam last year, so I'm a repeater this year. I had around 95 percentile last year, so I repeated this year again. Last year also I was with Krakow, but I didn't perform very well because I wasn't studying. So I just gave only mocks and got 95 percentile. So if anyone needs motivation for that, only mocks, then also you can do that. In my free time, I like to write or go to the gym.
Okay. So Om, can you tell us like why didn't you perform very well last year and this year you performed really well? What was the key point?
So my VRC was not very good. I don't like reading, to be honest. Then I didn't do well in VRC. My cons, I didn't revise cons because it was quite confusing to decide from where to revise concept of cons. So I guess these two things hurted my 2024 score a lot. But then I knew these two were the things where I have to improve. Then for revision, the most important thing for me was studying questions for cons, and it helped me a lot, and I scored very good in all three sections and overall of 99.52.
Okay. What about you, Ariman?
Last year, my worst section was maths.
Hmm.
So this year, as soon as the Krakow came out with that quant rush section, I think I did like 2,500 questions in that.
Oh my.
So that boosted me up to a 99.8 something in quant.
That's really great.
So that was good for me, and I felt like the Krakow's structured curriculum really helped a lot. Last year I did not even know what kind of questions can come, even for DILR, which was also pretty bad. Honestly, all three sections were bad for me. So this time all my sectionals were pretty good, and I feel like it was because of the structured curriculum that helped me a lot.
Yeah. And what about you, Manohar?
Last year I had very much ambiguity in VRC because like everyone knows why VRC is ambiguous, and then DILR is very unpredictable. I was overconfident on my quants because I never used to do some topics that I even skipped during my JE days, like number systems or something like that. I would skip during JE also. So even for CAT exam, I left them. But this year, I sort of started nitpicking the paper apart and seeing that, okay, number system does have 2 to 3 questions coming in and they are quick answers that you can get. So I started focusing on topics like that. Apart from that, in VRC, I started improving my strategy of attempt so that I am not into the ambiguity. The answers by Sayali ma'am helped a lot because they were providing me with clear cut ways of eliminating the options, which I found was very important because sometimes I would be stuck on an option thinking that this has to be it, but then Sayali ma'am would correct me in a video solution. So I would realize, okay, I have to change my way of thinking. I think that helped a lot, and I have 100% in VRC this year.
That's great.
And with DILR, I think a lot of the help was from the study room because I could do targeted practice of the type of DILR question that I was expecting. So that helped a lot. So with DILR, I think the number of questions that you do is better for you because you can identify the easier and the harder questions in the paper also. So I think that was very essential for me in this year. So this year I got a 99.97 percentile overall. So I think Krakow helped a lot both the years, but this year a lot more.
Actually, in Krakow, we provide daily targets. We have mocks, sectionals, then we have a study room. Now we have introduced Quant Rush.
Yeah.
So, what was the 2-3 things that you used to do regularly?
First thing was CAT daily article. So I used to go for work at 8:30 a.m. So before going to work, I used to read all the three articles, and also sometimes in the office, if I missed any article. So I never missed daily articles. It really improved my VRC because RCs were kind of similar with the articles that they provided. And the second thing was study room. I used to be in office most of the time, so also in between office, whenever I used to get 10 or 15 minutes, I used to solve some one or two topic tests, and it really helped me to revise cons weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly.
Okay. What about you, Ariman?
Same with the daily articles. I read daily articles not only because they helped me, also because they were really fun and good selections. And the contrast thing I just said, contrast helped me a lot, a lot. And I feel like the diversity in the kind of questions that were in Dashcats also, 20 Dashcats, they were all very different, and it helped me prepare all sorts of questions and all sorts of patterns that might appear in the exam.
And what about you, Manohar?
For me, the two areas that I really used were mocks because they were like the ultimate holy grail for me because they were the proper benchmarks of my performance. Other than that, I was very much focused on the study room because the study room, first of all, it's adaptive, so it gives you the sort of questions that you really need. And also, you can do focus practice on the sort of questions that you are sticking in. Like I mentioned, that I was weak in number systems, so I improved my number systems through study room only.
Okay.
So that helped me make sure that I am good with all the sections of the syllabus.
For all the people who are watching, we have a CAT study room where we have thousands of questions. Roughly 10,000 questions are there in quant, in verbal, in LRDI, and there are different topics. For each topic, we have good number of questions, and these questions really helped a lot of students to perform really well in the examination. As far as mocks are concerned, how CrackQ helped you in analyzing your mocks, Om?
Firstly, the Krakow mocks were pretty much balanced this year amongst everyone. Cons was very balanced. VRC was also very logical. And DLR was a bit tough, but it did prepare us for the final CAT exam because
Yeah.
CAT 2025 did have very some tough sets. So my set selection improved because of DashCat DLR. Also, the analysis were also pretty in depth. So especially in VRC, analysis is really important because of you need to compare your logic with the author's logic. So it did help when Dashcat's analysis.
Okay, Ariman, yeah.
So the interface was really intuitive, and it was really easy to understand which topics I was lacking in. Specific topics, like I was bad with permutations and combinations, so I could tell कि हाँ ये चार मुझे question अगर मैं रोज practice करूँ तो I'll get through in a week. So that was very really helpful. And then the cross mock analysis was also there. Ki you have given 20 marks, your whole performance will be compared, and then your strengths and your weaknesses will be listed. So you can work accordingly. You can create your own plan basically.
For me, so first of all, I think the most important thing was the live attempts because that actually helped me seeing my set selection in DLR. Sometimes that would happen that I have scored very low, but I would find some comfort in the fact that me and Maruti sir were trying the same sets. So at least I was there. I should have just held on and I might have scored more. So I think that was something very reassuring and uplifting for me. Other than that, as I said, that the video solutions provided for all the answers, that was very good. And apart from that, seeing which question was easy and hard, that was obviously very good. So yeah, Dashcats are the ultimate gold standard for mocks, I think.
Actually, we have seen a lot of people are saying कि CrackQ Dashcats are on a difficult side, and we do provide Dashcats on a difficult side because we think the CAT exam is very unpredictable, right? So generally, whenever there is a pattern change or there is anything change in the paper, so we make sure that students are prepared for all the scenarios. And coming to the study room, and the number of questions you solved daily. So I will ask you how many questions you used to practice every day.
Every day I used to solve two or three RCs and around 5 to 10 BAs. Then I used to solve 2 to 3 DLR sets every day. And in cons, it used to vary. If I was free or I was bored, I used to do cons a lot. So I used to do around more than 30 or 25, 30 questions in cons. All from study room mostly.
Okay. Aryaman, how many questions you solved every day?
Similarly, I solved about 2 to 3 RCs every day and about 5 VA questions. And LRDI would really vary. LOD1, I could solve about 3 to 4 questions every day. LOD2, about 2. LOD3 was a rare thing कि हफ्ते में एक बार. And maths, though, I don't think there was a single day I solved less than 100 questions. So
Less than
less than 100 तो कभी maths में नहीं गया.
every day you used to
Every
solve.
day I had to.
Oh my god.
I was really bad with maths, so I really had to.
Okay.
I did not have any set number for the day because I was working, so there were a variable amount of time that I would get. Mostly, I would focus on sectionals because sectionals had the time constraint along with that, and I found that to be a little more realistic. From the study room, I used to look at my proficiency rather than the number of questions that I was solving. So I would pick up a topic and take it to the Kraku level proficiency. So some days I'll take 2 topics, some days I'll take 1 topic, but generally I would take the topics that I was weak in and just look at that proficiency level as my benchmark that I have to get it to Kraku somehow, because the scores in that is also adaptive, I think.
Hmm.
The quality of questions that you solve gives you more score, and the proficiency is
Yeah.
very indicative of where you are.
Yeah.
So I think going by that helped me a lot rather than sticking to a single number.
Okay. So you both are working professionals, right? How did you manage your work life and your preparation? Can you tell our students who are also working professionals and are aiming for CAT 2026?
It was a bit tiring, to be honest, to manage cat and work. I used to get up at 6 and then solve BRC for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Then in office, I used to try to get some time for reading or to solve 1 or 2 topic tests for cons. Then after office, I used to study for around 2 or 2.5 hours. But I never used to miss my sleeping hours, because it really helps to maintain that balance for next day as well.
Yeah. Ariman.
I left my job after 25 months because last year I got a 99 borderline. I got a 99 percentile. So I knew that one more year I cannot give with my job. So I had to leave my job. I would not recommend that for everyone though, because it is really stressful when you have only one path in life. But when you leave your job, you can give 6 to 8 hours a day easily. There's nothing else in life to do.
For me, I would generally solve maths in the morning or DILR in the morning because I was most active at that time. At night, I would try to solve a sectional or two so that I can see where I am. Generally, I didn't get time because my job was from 9 to 9 or something like that because I work for a MNC. On weekends, I would give 3 mocks sometimes together and spend a lot of time on the analysis. So that together was good for my stamina as well as for the prep as well. So other than that, whatever I got in the analysis, I would just target that on my regular weekdays because because I was a dropper, I already had an idea of the syllabus completely. So for me, it was better that I just target my weak areas on the weekdays and then look at it again on the weekend. So on the weekends, I generally give around 5 mocks in total on both the days combined.
एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि जब हम मॉक्स देते हैं तो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि हर बार हम अच्छा परफॉर्म करेंगे. देयर यूज्ड टू बी सम मॉक्स वेयर यू परफॉर्म रियली बैड. सो उसके बाद मोटिवेशन कैसे लेके आते थे, क्या करते थे तुम लोग कि अगले मॉक के लिए मोटिवेशन मिले और अच्छा स्कोर करें?
So I have a story about this one. Because there was a time when I was speaking in my mocks and I was very confident that I will do well in CAT. But then I became more confident and I started to optimize very little things, and I started to change a few things in my schedule, and it really messed up with my mocks. My mock scores dipped a lot. It almost half of what I used to score.
Can you
But
tell us
then-
the number? What was the number that you were getting?
Usually I used to score 80, 90, around 80, 90, but then it dipped down to 55, 60 or 65. So I realized that I have to maintain my emotions throughout the journey. So after a week or two, I again bounced back to my usual score. But just don't change anything if the things are working out for you. Don't try to change anything.
Yeah, Ariman.
I have an equal number of scores above 100 and below 50.
Okay.
So I scored as less as 20 also in one of the dash cats. So the honest thing to do is अपने आप से झूठ मत बोलो कि आप कहाँ पे गलत हो. क्या मतलब don't pump yourself up for nothing. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आप गलत हो, look at the analysis, look at what they're providing. You don't even have to use your own brain. You just see कि अच्छा ये 4 चीजें मैंने गलत करी हैं, ये topics मेरे weak हैं, and then just stick to that. Just keep going.
Yeah, Manohar.
I had a set number of raw score in my mind. I had I have to get 120 in any case, no matter how hard the paper is, because that will get me above 9.99.9. So I was always aiming for that, and my strategy was around that. So for that, I used to get 14 VRC consistently and around 13 maths consistently. So my only variable was DILR. So yeah, that was my only thing. So some days I have at least I think 2 dash where I have only 2 marks in DILR. And then I realized it's because of panic, because when I crossed the 20-minute mark, that time the panic set in that I haven't solved a single set and now I won't be able to solve anything. And then I realized that I'm even not salvaging the marks that are in front of me in that regret. And sometimes that would affect my QA as well. Because I'll be regretting, okay, DLR is gone, I'm not getting to 120 in any case. So that would cause me to be very casual with the QA. This happened for the first 5 dashcats, but later than that, whenever this sort of thing happened, I analyzed if there were any other reasons for that. Maybe it was that set selection was off. Basically, I would just dive into the paper and see why it went wrong and try to reproduce it, try not to reproduce that again and try to repair that damage.
Okay. So, if you have any suggestion for the people who are preparing for CAT 2026, what will be the 2 most important suggestions that you will give to the people who are giving CAT exam next year?
Firstly, don't try to do anything fancy. Just follow the basic things. Read, solve DLR sets, and do cons every day. And just trust the process. Don't compare yourself with others' mock scores. Second, before CAT exam, just chill for 3 or 4 days. Don't do anything. Don't rush into anything. Just chill for 4 days and give a CAT with a free mind without thinking about the outcomes. Controlling your nerves on the D-day is the really most important thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ariman.
I think filtering out the noise is very important because there's a lot of noise around CAT being a difficult paper, and people should not give all their hopes on CAT. But it is not that unpredictable, I feel like, because if you prepare consistently and you do not listen to people who say कि बहुत मुश्किल है नहीं हो पाएगा, you can crack it. You just gotta have some confidence in yourself. बाकी पढ़ाई करो.
Yeah, Manohar.
I would say give a lot of mocks, give as many mocks as you can get, and analyze them deeply. Go to every question and see what could have been improved in that question. Maybe if you have even done it, look at it like maybe I should have spent only a minute on it and I spent 3 minutes. That is also something that we miss because you're getting it correct doesn't mean that you are doing it correctly. So I think that is important. Other than that, sleep schedule maintain. Because
Yeah.
most of the times I've gone low score is because either I was anxious or I was tired. So that is something that I was mindful of. So be mindful of your surroundings and of your body, and take care of your health while you are preparing. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, आप तीनों कॉलेज जा रहे हो इस साल, ठीक है? तो what specialization are you aiming for?
I don't have any rigid decision, but I'm more inclined towards consulting.
Okay.
Same, I don't have a rigid decision. I'm inclined towards consulting because it encompasses all the business functions. But if I had to pick one, I would pick finance.
Okay. Yeah, Manohar.
I would also go for finance, although I think with my profile I would probably end up in consulting. I have a tech background, but I would prefer to do a lot of finance.
Okay. और कॉलेज में जाने के लिए मतलब ऐसा कुछ सोचा है क्या कि कॉलेज में जाके मुझे 1-2 चीजें करनी है जो फर्स्ट ईयर में मुझे ये चीज अकम्प्लिश करनी है? जैसे इस साल का टारगेट था आपको कि कैट 2025 में मुझे ये करना है, ऐसा कोई टारगेट है कॉलेज के लिए?
wanna hold a good institution rank. I would say top 10% at least. That is a goal. Since I did not do anything in my UG, so that's a goal कि इस बार मेहनत करनी है.
I second that.
SIP लग जाए.
Same redemption from my UG. I have to do well in this MBA as it will most probably our last degree, and also focus on SIPs.
So from your conversation, I think you did not do well in your UG.
Yeah.
So that's why you are doing MBA, or you had any other motivation for?
No, I think because after working for 2 years, I just realized that the execution part is in my hand, but the decision making is for someone else to do. And the decision making is what is creating the real impact. And I don't want to keep leading on a career where I am not creating impact, I'm only executing things. So that's why I wanted to pivot.
Yeah, that's a really good thought of doing an MBA. Like you can actually give this answer and it is very convincing. Yeah. What about you, Mona?
I always have the curiosity to be able to run my own business or at least understand how money works, because we all know the world runs on money itself. So For me, to do an MBA is a lot of curiosity and maybe a lot of professional aspiration as well, but it is still driven by curiosity. So yeah, it's not like I didn't do well in my engineering, so I want to do MBA. It's more like I want to do MBA and I want to make sure that I prove that I'm also of a high academic caliber while I'm doing my MBA, and be a lot more focused than I was during my UG, because that
Mm.
time we were immature, but now we know the value
Yeah.
of the marks we get and the institute rank that we hold at the end of the MBA. So I want to make sure that I'm in a high percentile there also.
Okay. Yeah.
So during UG itself, I had decided to do an MBA because in my second year and third year, I did a small business with my classmate. I was involved with multiple council events, unofficial events, and trip organizations. So I knew I don't want a static job. My field is mostly full of static jobs. I wanted something dynamic, and it was obvious to do an MBA from here on.
Okay. So I would like to end the this conversation with one question. Like somebody who is preparing for CAT exam, so how CrackU can help them? If you have any suggestions for them, like how CrackU course or how CrackU mocks will definitely help them. Can you please tell us?
Firstly, for Kraku's course, it will give you proper structure for preparation. You will there are lots of resources available on the internet, but
Mm.
to follow a certain thing in structure is very important. Otherwise, you won't do anything if you don't know what you have to do daily. So Kraku will help you structure your preparation. Secondly, the Kraku mocks will help you be prepared for that unpredictability of CAT. Even if it's easy or it's moderate or it's difficult, it will help you prepare for all situations.
Yeah.
I have similar feelings for the material, but also I would like to add that all the little fundas given by Saili ma'am and Maruti sir in the middle of क्या कहते हैं,
Live session.
live streams also, but then also when they're after they do their live mock attempts and
Okay.
they give a sort of कि मैंने क्या किया, मुझे क्या करना चाहिए था. I feel like that helps you decide your own strategy, and honestly, you have to put in a lot less effort when there are so many people putting in so much effort for you.
Yeah.
I think Krakow is the closest to end-to-end solution that we get, and the closest to offline coaching that you can get in the online space, because you have ready consultants that can help you with any sessions that you need for your strategizing. Other than that, you have the comfort of marathons coming on and the comfort of looking at solutions at your own pace. So I think that is very good. And apart from that, the quality of mocks and questions present is amazing. So yeah, that's the closest to end-to-end solution you will get for CAT exam. So I really like the Kraku.
Thank you.
If I fail in my interviews, I'll be back.
Next year.
No, we are very sure that you will convert your dream college this year, and I wish you all three of you a very good luck. And I am sure that you will definitely reach to your dream B school and have a successful career afterwards. And yeah, thank you so much.